If you're thinking about boating on Barnegat Bay, there are a lot of things people don't tell you until you run aground. And trust me, Barnegat Bay has some really shallow areas. I've spent over 600 hours boating these waters over the last 20 years, from Tom's River out through the channel, up to Point Pleasant, through the canal, which by the way is slightly dangerous due to swirling waters and currents, down toward Ticey Shoal, on the ocean through the Barnegat Inlet, and all throughout the bay. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is when heading out into the ocean is exiting the channel too soon. Boaters need to line the two markers up visually to stay in the safe navigation channel going through the inlet. If you drift outside that channel too early, you can hit the jetties, submerged rocks, shoals, or underwater breakers that are there to control erosion and currents. And before reaching the ocean, you have to respect the channel markers. A lot of people look out there and think, oh, the water looks deep enough. Nope, not the case. There are spots in this bay that can go from 8 feet deep to barely 1 foot deep fast. If you don't stay inside those markers until it's safe to turn, there's a good chance you're gonna end up stuck. Now, luckily for me, I run a Chaparral 2430 Vortex 600 horsepower jet boat, and one of the biggest advantages is that it only draws about 15 inches of water. That allows me to get into areas that most traditional prop boats simply can't go. That's one of the things I love about boating a jet boat around the Jersey Shore. I can cruise through the shallow water, explore little coves, and navigate areas where a lot of other boaters will be worried about damaging a prop or running aground. But even with a jet boat, you still need to know the bay. The sandbars move, and trust me, I would know. I went over the handlebars on a Yamaha jet ski after I hit a sandbar at 74 miles per hour out by Middlesedge Island in 2016 while my 8-year-old daughter was on the back. She was fine, but I wound up having to have 2 discs in my neck fused in 2024 because of that accident. Ouch. So the tides matter, and weather and wind can change conditions fast. Now, one of the most famous boating destinations around here is Ticey Shoal. If you've never been there before, it's basically a giant social boating sandbar where everybody anchors up, grills food, floats around, hangs out, and spends the day partying on the water. On summer weekends, it gets packed. It's definitely mostly a younger crowd, but there are plenty of older boaters mixed in throughout too, depending upon the day and where you decide to anchor. The nice part is you can walk over to the shore and cross Island Beach State Park to the ocean side, hang out there for a while, and then go back to your boat for dinner and drinks. Another major gathering area is F Cove up towards Manahawkin. That's another spot where boaters anchor up and spend the day socializing and hanging out on the water. F Cove also tends to attract a pretty young crowd during the summer season, especially on very busy weekends. Now, if you ask me, one of the best parts about boating in Barnegat Bay is the waterfront restaurants. There's nothing better than docking your boat, hopping off for lunch or dinner, and cruising to the next stop. A few great waterfront spots boaters love include the Shrimp Box up in Point Pleasant, great atmosphere and classic Jersey Shore boating vibes. B2 Bistro in Bayville, formerly Martell's Water's Edge. Beautiful waterfront views and a fun summer crowd. Sun Harbor Seafood and Grill in Barnegat, another great dock and dine spot for boaters cruising the bay. And honestly, there are dozens more depending upon what kind of atmosphere you're looking for. Every part of Barnegat Bay has its own personality. Point Pleasant has that busy marina energy. Treasure Island on the Manasquan River at the top of the canal is a great place to hang out with your friends. Tom's River gives you incredible river cruising. The canal is like the river ride at the Great Adventure, how that used to be. Ticey Shoal feels like a floating summer party, and the Southern Bay gets quieter and more peaceful. People who don't boat here really have no idea how incredible the Jersey Shore looks from the water. And if you're new to boating around here, my biggest advice is respect the channels, watch the markers carefully, don't assume the water is deep just because it looks that way, and take your time learning the bay. If you have questions about boating, I will be happy to help in any way I can. Not only do I know the waterways, but I can connect you with the best boat, jet ski people around, like Chris and Kerry Caputo at Lacey Power Sports in Forked River. They have to be the best by far. Chris is ridiculous. He knows everything. I'm Bill Mayer with United Mortgage and Homes by Mayer at Dono Realty. If you ever want to talk boating, waterfront living, or buying a home near the Jersey Shore, you can call or text me 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 908-304-5470. Thank you for stopping by. And boy, is it absolutely gorgeous. Have a great day.